It's gonna be oily, swirly, contentious, perilous, and arduous. First stop, Denmark, where this Viking descendant and these lovely young women are gathered for a game of football. There's been a fair bit of rain over the past few days, though, and the pitch is, well, a bit on the soft side. We joined the game midway through the first half, and Holland, in the usual orange jerseys, are putting on the pressure against the Swedes in lemon. Sounds like a side order of vegetables. The Swedes in lemon have proven to be quite unpopular, as the supporters have adopted skis to enable them to get to the tea wagon. Another match here today sees the red team versus the black team, with the Reds scoring a goal on the full-time whistle, ensuring them a place in the final against the orange team, which will make it fairly difficult to tell the two apart. And it's getting harder to recognise the players as the mud takes hold. That guy does look familiar, though. The cheerleaders for the women's comp are lining up as their chosen teams dig down deep and wade into the tackles like Fernando Torres or someone with a bad computer connection. Neither can find the net. As the day wears on, the game appears to lose its sparkle, like Wayne Rooney on a Sunday morning, and everyone yearns for the final whistle so that they can hit the saunas. Eventually, a winning team is declared, and the guy in the orange jersey decides to jump ship, which is what they're going to need if it gets any wetter. Australians are a funny bunch, aren't they? They fish the seas for tuna and then try to throw the fish back. The problem is, they stand too far away from the shore. This is tuna throwing, and we've just witnessed the correct way to toss a tuna. Now, having watched that along with some groper groupies, let's see how some other contestants fare. Unorthodox, yet some considerable distance is achieved.
Oh, yes, here we go.
What? You think that's embarrassing? This is embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In fact, it's worth another look.
Oh, yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, yeah.
This is hard to distinguish who's throwing who. It appears Aussies are sadly lacking in sartorial elegance. What was she thinking? Back at the comp, things are getting worse. The girls just don't have the muscle for it. But if a goal is scored, these folk will have a very good view. Looks like this guy's got the build and strength to make an impact. Oh, sorry, ma'am. Yes, indeed. A winning throw for the ladies, and possibly the men too. It looks like the finals are here, and some serious contenders are lining up to chuck. Impressive, but the lady in red is still dancing with me. Now, here's the first guy again. He's got his hat on backwards, so he must be good. And yes, over the hill and far away. But as in life, so it is with tuna tossing. There's always someone faster, stronger, longer. And dinner is served. Pass the sauce, tartare. Next up, China. Yes, that man just fired into the crowd, and for the 20th time today, he's hit no one. This is the Farmers' Games, where the track and field events take on a rather rural quality as the competitors race with rice stalks to plant them into a portable paddy field. 3 words that have never been used together in a sentence before. A quick dip into the rosin bucket seems superfluous as the ladies line up for the rice plant toss onto something that resembles a bingo card on steroids.
Guy.
All sorts Lots of unique events were staged, and word is that the 3 spectators who turned up all complained about their seats. In the book, How to Become a Millionaire, this is the chapter that illustrates that nothing replaces hard work. As the promoter made off with the money from the sponsors, 4 guys who jacked up his tractor escaped with his wheels. And a TV-advertised European river barge cruise, hopelessly off course and understaffed, floated by but didn't bother to watch the games, citing exhaustion and total disinterest. What's on the other channel? Next, we're getting off at Italy, shooting off to Mongolia, and can someone get me a drink, please? Here in Torrita di Siena, the thing that these folk like more than anything else is to find an excuse to wave their flags. Magnifico! It's Donkey Race Day, and here's the guest of honor's bus. Normally they'd arrive on a mule train, but it was out of order today. Apparently, his rider wasn't there. The oats and barley that he'd requested for his dressing room failed to materialize. But the flags fly, and the smoke billows. And racing! Pain and Despair is at the front with No Heat in the Apartment in second. Spilt Red Wine in third place. Then comes Can't Pay My Rent and Angry Landlord with Heavy Boot bringing up the rear. Security Bond is gone for all time. Hey, a jockey, you're hopeless. I should have ride your ass. And it's a dead heat between No Heat in the Apartment and Can't Pay My Rent. Then Angry Landlord and Heavy Boot coming hard up the back. This guy's trying to take flight, and by the look of that crowd, so will the bookie. Spare a thought, though, for the losers today. All they have to look forward to is hauling their sorry asses back on the bus and heading for home where they can hit the hay. Hong Kong, city of lights and fast waiter service. Alfresco dining has really caught on here in the city, but the problem is that the kitchen for several of the restaurants is poorly positioned right up the other end of the street. These poor girls are trying to attract the waiter's attention, but it's a long, thirsty wait, I'm afraid. Where is the waiter? He's right over there, ma'am. So he is, and he's certainly trying his best to get the orders out to everyone as quickly as possible. Well, he's working for minimum wage. He can expect a big tip from these happy diners. I think that the architect who designed this restaurant layout had probably sampled too much from the bar before he set his chisel pencil to blueprint. Nah, of course, this is the Hong Kong waiters race, and here on the right comes the champion garçon right now. Here you go, sir. 1 cup of cold tea and a bottle of water. Oh. His prize,
Thank you very much.
a tray.
Thank you very much. Just like that. Just like that.
Can I get the bill, please? A quick trip around the world now to see some of the local sports. First, Mongolia, and these very smart soldiers are guarding the entrance to an arena that holds a large crowd who've all come along to watch, well, these 2 guys. Surely there's something more to it than a fashion parade. Ah, here we go. It's a wrestling match, and it won't take long. The next event is called Frick a Little Thing into a Cupboard. Maybe this will get the sports juices flowing. It looks like they're flicking a little thing into a cupboard. Oh, a major hit, and the crowd goes wild. And so to the archery section, where one contestant looks to have his bow hidden inside his dress, as opposed to decorating the outside of it. And what exactly are they shooting at? Ah, these people. They look pretty safe, though. Now. And there were two sports that we saw there. Basketball, of course, which is extremely popular all around the world, and the other global craze of rollerblading. It appears, though, that these Russian kids can't make up their minds which they like most. So they've combined the two and come up with this amalgam of the two activities, which we've dubbed basketblading. Sensibly, these guys have knee pads and helmets, but their elbows are open to the rough road surface. And there goes some elbow skin right now. Ooh. And there's no need for an auditorium. The vertical villages in the background have the best seats available, and the popcorn is certainly cheaper at home. If you do have an eye for business, however, there's a definite market for elbow pads. Good shot. Well, Ernest Hemingway was fascinated by it, and young men annually risk their lives being involved in it. It's the running of the bulls in Pamplona, Spain, and it's the most foolhardy, crackpot event on the nincompoop calendar. The overload of testosterone and adrenaline is the precursor to idiotic bullfighting, and it draws 1 million people to San Fermin to run from or watch the bulls from a safe vantage point. Ow! Take away the bulls, and this could be the January sales. You just wouldn't get charged so much. But all that madness is preceded by this insanity. This is the opening of the San Fermin Festival, where the main ingredients are people, about 1 million, red neckerchiefs, same amount, thousands of gallons of champagne mixed together with goodwill and frolicking fun. Whilst they wait below for the imminent signal, some wayward revelers take to the roofs to display their banners. Either that, or they've just stolen some poor soul's washing. The opening of the fiesta is marked by the firing of the chupinazo, a rocket firework that explodes the crowd into a swirling red mass of hysteria. This is not a good time for your mobile phone to go off. The neckerchiefs get tied around their necks after this, which is where the name comes from, of course. There's the Tour de Mayhem production team. Don't make eye contact. There's a lot of spilt champagne. However, not all of it fell to the ground, judging by this happy troop. Now you know why they let the bulls out. The funny thing about coal is that it's always getting shoveled. From one pile to another, into a furnace, or like here in Australia, into a skip that gets weighed and then emptied back out again onto the same pile for some other poor wretch to shovel. They're good at it here in Oz, though. In fact, if these guys were working on a steam train, it'd probably break the land speed record. This guy is definitely busting a gut here, but he simply lacks the speed and efficiency of his opponent. Take a break, mate. Go sit near the fire. There's no age limit for competitors. They just have to be fit, feisty, and fiendishly fast to enter the competition. But it's not just the menfolk who show their strength. The women are also up for it. And that's the way they like it in Oz. Muscles in their spit. Yes, girls, you can stoke my fire anytime you like. Now, this is also on the agenda here today, roof bolting. You see, down the mines from where the coal hails, Well, it doesn't hail. We'd be in deep trouble then. But the roof of the mine has to be secured so as to prevent a cave-in. Well, these guys do it with speed and then some. Oh, they drink a lot of beer in Australia. I'm beginning to understand the reason why. Yeah, good one, Bluey. Fancy a coldie? Yeah, mate, right behind you. Back now to the finals, and our mate from the first round is going at it like the guy in the boiler room of the Titanic when the captain yelled, "Full steam to starboard, or we're sunk." Never mind, Digger, go up and collect your prize. You certainly deserve something nice for all that work.
Oh, on you, Travis. You're lovely.
And look at that, just what you wanted, a shovel. Get ready for some thigh-slapping laughter, shoulder-breaking fun, and not so Braveheart. Continuing the Tour de Mayhem Fight Night fixture, this is a drum roll, and these are drums of oil. There's a lot of oil here today. You see, some guys have come to the park for a spot of sunbathing and cavorting. And what better way to catch a few rays than by liberally applying sun oil? Just a drop more on the shoulders, please.
Warm it up.
So, lots of drum rolls and enough oil to start a fast food franchise. This, folks, is Turkish wrestling, and if you've never witnessed it before, let me explain that what you're about to watch is, well, a bit bizarre. Toulouse is not a French impressionist name, but to be on the outer means you feel like a jilted Popeye. No more olive oil. The finalists pick their opponents from a yellow capsule and they can almost taste the olive oil, which is ironic because the oil is applied everywhere but non-orally. I should explain that the act of shoving one's arm down your opponent's pants is neither an attempt at romance or a desperate search for loose change, but rather a method of gaining purchase so as to throw him on his back and therefore win the bout. Well, that's my interpretation of things anyway. Of course, if you are beaten early on, you can always salvage a few litres of oil from your pants to take home for salad dressing. Tasty! Meanwhile, the lads continue to grapple. Just what exactly constitutes a win isn't clear. But elation follows a victory, as well as deflation signals a loss. Yes! These football fans with the vuvuzelas are at the wrong venue, but it's a welcome change from the drums. And by now, the warm, fuzzy feeling from the oil in their pants is starting to be as aggravating as those drums. Oh yeah, that's making a difference. The two finalists are announced, and more oil is applied. A waste, really, as the sun's gone in and it's starting to rain. It's Albert Toulouse versus I'm a Gonna Win, who actually are very good friends. Maybe better friends than I'd at first thought.
I'll have what he's having, please.
Oh, come on, fellas, get a room. However, I feel that a winning move is imminent. And there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champion!
Albert Toulouse was totally distracted by something down I'm a Gonna Win's pants, and it's cost him.
You all right with it? There you go. Oh, nice.
And the first prize is a large cup of olive oil. You air survey now, folks, to what looks like some kind of business convention where people meet and greet and do their networking. Looks like these two fellows have just been introduced and are very particular about their handshake. Probably Masons. They're a mysterious bunch.
How do you do?
This is an arm wrestling competition and equality is front and center today. These ladies are like the first man on the moon, Armstrong. Now, whatever you do, don't blink or you'll miss this. It's the championship final and the, lady with her back to camera is about to blitz the competition. No ifs, ands, or buts. Thanks. I thought it was funny too. Hope you Mounties all get your man. So what's your secret?
Determination, strength, right here and right here. Keeping them both together and giving them hell.
Sorry, but even in slow-mo, it's fast. And they're off! We're in Egypt for this charity-supporting Raft Race. The Americans, just like their economy, are standing still, and what was once a proud leader is now barely keeping afloat. But let's not bring politics into this. It's all about having fun and getting into the spirit of the race. It was hard to get tickets for this event, but we heard there were some scalpers offering to deal in high prices. This looks like them now.
Well, as you can see, there are lots of people pitching up for this event. They're all having a good time, obviously. It's also in a good cause. They'll be raising some money for charity.
See if you know the lyrics to this ditty. This is the Rugby Nile Raft Race, and these lovely young ladies are the wives and girlfriends of the rugby players, no doubt.
Our particular theme this year is Brave Heart, sort of against the Brave Heart movie. This is a Scottish kilt, and we are trying to represent what we want to say here in the raft. We hope to win, and we'll have a good time.
I wonder which clan he belonged to. Not fat enough to be a McDonald. Which is French for say cheese.
Well, I think there are a lot of good reasons for having this kind of event, and one of them is certainly to raise money for charity.
Next week's trip takes us to Deathmatch Rock, Paper, Scissors, the 10 most incredibly hairy people in the world, and lawn growing championships. See you in the funny pages.